Hey there everyone, it's Jenn, the Board Game Librarian, coming to you from my office at work. Ooh, in the library. And today we're going to do book review number 2, and that is going to be Sajni Patel's The Trouble with Hating You. I have been on a romance kick lately, so you're probably going to see a lot of these. There's been a lot going on in my life, so romances are just filling in that area of fluffy entertainment that I really enjoy. And The Trouble with Hating You has been in my to-be-read pile and by my nightstand for several months now, and I'm finally getting to it. So in this book, we have Leah Thakar, who is a biochemical engineer in Houston. She has just recently gotten a promotion, and she is over at her parents' house. We already know at the beginning of the book that things are not great with her parents. And she thinks that she's just having dinner with the two of them. It's going to be great. But little does she know that her parents have set up kind of like a get-to-know-you meeting with Jay Shah and his mother. It's like an arranged date of sorts. And Leah's not having any of that. Leah's just surprised. She's like really mad about it, and I probably would be too if that happened to me. And she's just not interested in meeting a man right now. And she knows that her parents want this to be an arranged marriage situation. And she's been down that road before with people trying to do this. So she and Jay end up bumping into each other as Leah is literally fleeing her parents' house. And it's not a good start to how they know each other. Fast forward a couple of days when Leah is at work, and in walks Jay, who is a lawyer, and her company that she works for is going under, hearing a massive amount of lawsuits, and Jay has been called in to try to save this company and save them some money with the lawsuits. So Leah is not happy to be seeing him. She's really surprised, and they continue to get off on the wrong foot. The story progresses from there. We have a full cast of characters from Leah's Girl Squad. So again, we have another book that has a pretty well fleshed out Girl Squad. We have Jay and his friends. We have Jay's family as well, and kind of a lot of the things that go on in between. So this is not a spoiler necessarily. This happens even in the author's note, where the author says that there is some content in here which could be triggering for some folks, and Leah has had something that happened in her past which pretty deeply affects her. It's kind of along in the Me Too movement vein, but Leah has been holding on to this secret for a really long time, and this secret has brought a lot of shame, quote unquote shame, to her family, had really tense relationships with her father, and the people at their mandir. So Leah has definite trust issues. She has definite self-esteem issues in terms of her relationships with other men, because of what has happened to her in her past. So she's a character that has a definite character arc that goes along here. But Jay is also carrying along a secret with him, and something that happened in his past, which the two of them will figure out together, both of their situations, and come to better understand each other and themselves as well. I've been reading a lot of like Own Voices books recently, and I had picked this up because I love books that are not about white people. And I thought the cover was really dynamic on this one, and I loved the premise too. And I loved in this book that I learned quite a bit more about Indian culture. We have a wedding that happens at the end. We have a lot of things that happened at their mandir, and just different things. How family dynamics can be very different, how interpersonal relationships between men and women can be very different sometimes. So I think these are all great things to learn and know more about. So this is not an open door romance, and what I mean by an open door romance, what I referenced last time with Yuhamia Ola, was in an open door romance, I've heard it described as you are literally in the room with someone when an intimate moment is happening. So this is a closed door romance. And I could definitely still feel the tension and intensity and intimacy between the two of them, even without having that door quote unquote open. If you're someone who is not into open door romances, I would say this would be a good option for you, because you still get the romance and everything else that would go along with that instead. Without the what I've had described to me at work from patrons, they don't want the graphic nature of an open door romance. This book too, for Sajni Patel, when you have the author note here, this is a little what she says. Although The Trouble with Hating You is a romantic comedy steeped in Southern sass, mouthy banter, hard-headedness, and Indian traditions, the story also deals with non-graphic references to sexual assault, death, and trauma. Some aspects of Leah and her life stem from my personal experience, and she goes on. So, I don't know what Ms. Patel here is referencing. Writing can often be a very therapeutic experience for people, for them to be able to write down and discuss aspects of their life that have been very traumatic. So if that was the case for her, I hope that this book really helped her. So I love this. These two are so not in love. So we definitely have a haters to lovers situation here. The romance between the two of them is really great. They learn to understand each other very well. And they're good for each other. I know Leah is very sassy, very big-mouthed, and Jay is just a really great balance for her. They keep good pace with each other. So that is what I have to say about The Trouble with Hating You. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments below. Thanks, everyone.